Hey, this is Tracy with Color Me This. Welcome to my channel if you are new here, and welcome back if you are a subscriber. This is episode 25, and today I am going to revisit my decor idea with my 520 Brutfuner pencil set. So first I'm going to show you, this is where I normally film, and I am actually getting ready to go on vacation in a couple weeks, and one of the things I am going to do is a weekend crafting event. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and in the North Carolina, the Stampin' Up! Demonstrators are very active, and they do quarterly meetings, and I attend one meeting a year, so because my upline is in North Carolina. So this is a bunch of materials prepped for these card swap assembly things we're going to do both Friday and Saturday. So this is one of my cards, all of the pieces getting cut, and here, this is the card all put together. I'm sorry, it is in plastic, and that is what it's going to look like. And I am putting together 9 kits and 2 completed cards. The 9 kits will be what the rest of the group members will get to assemble the card, and they will have that completed card to look at. And they can make any changes they want, if they want to change the design or what have you, but I will have that mock-up for them to see. And so I don't get to film here today. I am actually going to rotate to the other part of my desk where I am working on my Temu shelves. So I had already shown in an earlier episode, I'll link it, I'll put it up in one of the corners, like the upper right corner. So I had talked about buying 2 sets of packs of 3 shelves, and they're this whitewashed wood, and they were 4 3/4 deep. And as you can see, I had my husband rip them down and turn them into 1 3/4 inch deep, with a lip in the front and the tall lip in the back. I then bought Temu sawtooth hangers. They're little screws that they screw to. I am putting one on each side, and I've got the nail up, and you can see the little brad holes. We have a nail gun, and that is my husband reassembling it. You'll even notice, if you are paying close attention, that this piece of wood in the back here is not the same as the other pieces of wood. Our neighbor came by. We're in a seasonal community, so there lots of people leave. I'd say 3/4, maybe 1/2 to 3/4, maybe 40% stay, 60% leave. So there is a neighbor who, he was back and he was cleaning out his garage, so he came and asked my husband, we're the second house in on this dead end. So there's a bunch of houses, maybe 50 houses past us, so people see us when they pass by to go to their house. And my husband's always in the garage, always working on projects. And so the neighbor had asked if he wanted some woodworking tools and wood. So this piece of wood here is some of the wood that he left us, and it's a light blonde wood, which I was going for kind of the whitewashed blonde wood, somewhat like my desk actually. So I had already grabbed those pieces, initially thinking that I was going to have my husband make this style of shelving, but since Temu had them and the price was good, I went ahead and bought 2 packs for a total of 6 shelves. And then, of course, they were really deep, and you saw pictures on the video of how deep it looked. Way too deep. So my husband, the clever man that he was, took these shelves, ripped them down, and now I have magically 12 shelves. So I am very happy, because I don't know how many trays are in the 520, maybe 25 or more trays, but 12 trays up on my walls is going to be awesome. So I wanted to share that I bought, and we already have some in the garage, but I wanted my own. Wood filler. I bought white wood filler. You could also use spackle if you wanted, though spackle doesn't necessarily dry to a hard wood-like texture that you can then sand and paint. So about a little tube of wood filler, color of white. It was $3.87 from Amazon, and I already used it. It actually has, I'm gonna put my phone up now on my stand so that I can show you how easy it is to fill these in. All right, that was a pain getting that up, but I wanted to show you that this wood filler comes in a tube that has a nice glue tip that I cut just enough so that I could squeeze the filler into the little holes. So I will be going through filling in each of these. I'm using my fingers, by the way. You could put gloves on if you felt you needed to use gloves and didn't want this to touch, but you just kind of push it in, add a little more, push it in. Very simple. These nail holes, by the way, Temu sent them with these nail holes. That was like my one big issue with them, was that they weren't finished all the way looking, but it's an easy fix. It's very likely that you already have some wood filler or spackle already available in your garage. But again, we ripped them down to being a much narrower channel so that the pencils will sit up and the shelf doesn't stick all that far off of the wall. So that's what I did to make these what I want, and now I am going to turn off the camera and I'm going to hang the one that I just finished, and now I've done two. Hang the one up. I haven't actually figured out the placement that I am going to have around my room, but I did take down, I had these big herons, metal art 3D, and I moved those to the bedroom so that straight across from me is just a blank wall right now, and I get to figure out whatever arrangement I want on that wall, because I will have plenty of these little shelves, and then as I create more art, I will mat and frame it. So the collage on the far wall that I get to look at above my monitor will be a constantly evolving wall. So in just one sec, I will pop back in and show you what the new look of these shelves is like, holding my pencils. All right, I am going to do my best to illustrate what I worked out actually as the best way to hang these shelves. I did try command strips. I'm okay with command strips, but it's pretty humid here and hot, and I'm worried that the command strips that I was using the Velcro, sorry, that was the word I was trying to come up with. The Velcro version of the command strips, not just the sticky. But the sticky does have to stick to the wall, and then the Velcro is exposed toward the shelf, and then you Velcro the shelf to the wall. So I was worried about that not working, so that's why I switched to the sawtooth style. And then I had to work on buying the smallest head nails. Well, they had to have a big head, but a very shallow. So I'm gonna zoom in here and show you that this nail is just a very small head, just enough to grab onto for the sawtooth to grab onto, and it just fits like that. Oops, I have a little bit of wood. So here is what the new shelf looks like and how shallow it is in relation to the frames, and then I can move them over one way or the other, because there's like 5 little sawtooth teeth to look at, and I like how that looks. And again, if this is your first time and you haven't seen my first my rough draft, as we say, video, I have these Brutfuner 520s. So 520 beautiful pencils that I can then hang all over my walls as I want in the clear. So there's the clear case that they were sitting in, or the tray. And I think the tray is perfect. And I have to fix some, but I lined up all of the numbers. This is the student grade. So they've got the smaller lead, the 3.0 lead, and they don't have a name, they just have a number, and I just really like that kind of clean and simple look. And these are two of my tutorials. I think I have said in the past that one of my favorite things to do with coloring is to go through and do tutorials. So if these images look familiar to you, it is because this is a Bonnie Snowden deer tutorial, and I cannot remember. This is one of my very first ones I ever did, and it was another young lady who just did really well, and I still think she's doing them, but I think that now you can't get the free ones from her. They're now ones that you have to pay for. But I've noticed that these images, the YouTube coloring artists like to teach you to color animals and such, use a lot of the same imagery. So that cheetah, I have seen doing the cheetah eye from 3 or 4 different people. So anyhow, it's one of my favorite things to do, and it's just very relaxing and challenging for me, and I can take my time. So this is the start of my decor idea using the Brutfuner 520s, and I'm very happy with the look of my shelf. I'm going to now step down off the ladder and show you, try not to kill myself, show you kind of what it looks like from farther away. So hopefully you can see that good. I'm stepping even further away. So that is the new start of my pencils, and I do plan on adding more art. Those frames are 8x8 frames, so of course I want to find more frames. And then you see some more completed. Actually the dog at the top was my first start to finish, did it myself, wasn't a tutorial. It's for a friend's dog that had passed away. And then the 2 images below are tutorials. Then this wall is going to get more on either side of this is my happy place. I then have my fish, which a couple have fallen off. This is why I'm worried about the glue sticking to the wall, because I've had 3 fish that I cannot get to stick with some clear, thick, gluey tape stuff that I have. And then I took down my art down there at that wall. Pardon the mess, I'm still getting ready for this trip I'm going to go on, so I'm doing lots of crafty projects right now. So that wall will also have some pencils. And then right here, as we go through into the living room, is a wall that I will also add pencils on either side, and I may stretch out. These are also 8x8 little canvases that I got from the Dollar Tree. So I will put pencils that kind of coordinate with those colors up in between each piece of artwork. So that is my plan, and I am very excited to actually get some progress made, and I've got a dozen shelves to work with now to put these pencils up, and I'm very excited. So that's my update. Episode 25 is complete and in the books. Please do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching.